I'm Anita Brikman, President and CEO of the Plasma Protein Therapeutics Association, or PPTA. We are a healthcare trade association that represents more than 1,000 plasma donation centers across the US and in Europe, as well as the manufacturers of plasma-derived medicines. So what do? We work around the world to increase patient access, as well as the availability of plasma to create plasma-derived therapies. And we educate on how vital this plasma ecosystem is to our healthcare system. Another major focus of PPTA is standard setting. The development and implementation of voluntary standards, a rigorous program that goes above and beyond federal or state regulations to ensure the highest level of quality and safety in both the plasma collection process and in manufacturing of medicines, because protecting donors and patients is at the heart of everything we do. That is why I'm so excited to be here with you today to talk about this important issue about plasma and its life-changing power for thousands of Californians right now. So plasma, just taking a step back, it is the straw-colored liquid that is in all of our blood, and it is packed with really important proteins that do pretty amazing things in our bodies. They help with clotting to stop bleeding. They have antibodies to fight infections. And some people simply don't have enough of these proteins, and we're going to talk about that. Plasma is also used in trauma-related injuries such as burns, and it is used to create complex, highly targeted medicines to treat conditions like immune deficiencies, as I mentioned, neurological problems, as well as bleeding disorders. And again, you're going to be hearing firsthand from patients impacted by these therapies. The other important thing about plasma is that it can't be generated in a lab. It only comes because of the generosity and the time of human plasma donors. For many patients, including those joining us today, those who live with these serious, chronic, and often life-threatening conditions, these are not just an option. They are a lifeline. We are seeing a rise in diagnoses of these rare diseases, and people are living longer. Of course, that's wonderful news. But as a result, the clinical need for plasma grows every day. So keeping up with this need is key, particularly for the patients who rely on these not just to live, but to thrive. And that is why PPTA is so thrilled to be here in support of Assembly Bill 725, sponsored by Assemblymember Jose Luis Solache. California has the right system in place for plasma donation centers to open. We know this because in 2017, there were 14 plasma donation centers in the state. Now there are more than 60. However, we need to ensure that California's plasma ecosystem can continue to grow to keep up with the clinical need of the people who live in its state. To do that, AB 725 would modernize the regulations governing these centers, aligning California standards with those at the federal level. By doing so, we would be removing unnecessary roadblocks. The current laws impacting plasma donation centers in California were drafted in the 1990s. It was a much more manual process back then. We have seen a plethora of advancements since that time in automation and technology, but the laws simply haven't kept pace. As a result, for a plasma donation center to open and operate, it does face some unnecessary administrative burdens that don't enhance safety, but could limit plasma donations. That can mean fewer treatments for the patients who depend upon them. In addition to the patients that these plasma-derived medicines help, AB 725 is also an economic win for California. The average plasma donation center employs about 50 people. It generates about $4 million annually to local communities through the salaries, through taxes, and donor compensation. These centers provide excellent career opportunities for Californians with a variety of educational backgrounds. At the end of the day, AB 725 is about real people. It's about patients with rare and chronic conditions who depend on plasma-derived medicines. It's about the donors who give of their time and time again to make these medicines happen. And it's about ensuring that California's laws support progress, not hinder it.